Hi YouTube, it's OJ Samurai 6 here, and if you didn't know, I was at the Columbus YCS and wanted to give a short rundown of how the event went for me. If you couldn't tell by me not making any other videos about it, I did not end up doing too great, unlike the previous YCS, which is kind of weird because there were so many less people at this one, so the odds of me making day 2 was so much more likely, but I guess not. I finished 4 wins, 3 losses, 1 tie, which was a little rough because I tried a lot harder preparing for this YCS than the previous one. I have 3 notable opponents that I played in the event that were kind of famous that you guys should probably know about. Round 3 I versed Benjamin Leverett, who is using XYZ Monarchs, that being my first loss of the day. Round 5 I versed Tamid Zaman. If you don't know who he is, he's had a lot of accomplishments in the past. His most recent accomplishment was winning YCS Providence with Burning Abyss about 2 weeks ago, I'd say. Went to game 3, but yet the match was really quick. I ended up winning that one. I'm not gonna say game 3 was that hard. I kind of just summoned Majesty's Fiend and it's kind of game over from there. And the final notable opponent was Maxwell Schrack. I think I'm pronouncing that last name right. Of the 3, he's probably the least likely name for you to recognize, but he got 3rd place at the North America World Championship qualifier last year with Necros, which earned him his invite to Worlds. I ended up losing that match. He was using Burning Abyss. Went to game 3, but I think I really threw away that game 3. I remember looking at my opening hand and thinking to myself, I got this one in the bag. He set a monster and some background pass. During my turn, he flips Anti-Spell Fragrance, and I chain Monarch Stormforth. But instead of doing the common sense thing, asking my opponent if they have a response to Stormforth, I chained Twin Twisters, and then he activated Magic Deflector, making me waste 3 cards. And it was really an uphill battle from there. Now, had I gave my opponent a second to respond, or even said, do you have a response to Stormforth? Chances are he would have activated the Deflector, negating the Stormforth. Which, from there, I could have chained Twin Twisters to that, destroying the Anti-Spell Fragrance, and his other set card, which ended up being, what's that Phantom Knight card that's like a Fiendish Chain? I can't even remember. So, learn from my mistake, guys, and always remember to ask your opponent if they have a response. It can really screw you up sometimes if you don't. There were 629 players competing in this Columbus YCS compared to about 1,700 players at the previous Columbus YCS. The attendance for this YCS was significantly less than the previous Columbus YCS. I believe that is for 3 reasons. First of all, the previous Columbus YCS was the 150th. It's like the 100th that really meant a lot to people and gave it some attention. The second reason is that this YCS, unlike the previous one last year, this one was being sponsored by Origins Game Fair, which, I don't know, it's on this deck mat. These guys right here. It was sponsored by them, and to even get in the place, you had to spend $25 per day you were in there. Or you could do what I did and make a pain of pre-order your entrance and save a whopping $5. But then you add up the $20 you had to pay to enter the YCS, some food, entering any other events, and probably your way of getting there. So it was pretty expensive, which people don't really like having to spend that much. The third and final reason, which just might actually be the biggest reason of the bunch, this format we're in isn't that great. I like Monarchs. I've played them since 2013, if anybody remembers that. But I'm not much of a fan of this format. Comparing this format to the format of the 2015 Columbus YCS, that 2015 format was much more fun. Necros were dominating, but other decks besides that could actually compete with it. The Columbus YCS this weekend, all day, and I mean all day, I only versed a Burning Abyss and Monarchs. That's it. Nothing else. At the YCS in 2015, though, I versed Shadalls, Infernoid, Necros, Clifford, Stellar Knights, Burning Abyss, and Ritual Beasts. That's 7 different decks compared to just 2. Last few notable things I want to mention. I recently made that video about whether Extra Deck Monarchs or Domain Monarchs were better. I argued that Extra Deck Monarchs were better, and of the top 32 there were 8 Extra Deck Monarchs and no Domain Monarchs, so it seems like I was right. The Domain build just bricks so often that people make memes about it. Then Extra Deck Monarchs come out and the memes vanish. It's just like, where'd they go? Yeah, not counting those 8 XYZ Monarchs that made top 32, there was one person that topped with Burning Abyss mixed with Monarchs. I'm pretty curious about that. If you remember my Chaos Monarch deck that ran Curry Bandit, that was okay, kind of a gamble on the mills, but worked at my locals because secret is they're pretty bad at my locals. I swear I've won like the past 20 locals in a row there or something. But yeah, I was actually thinking about using more of a BA engine a couple months ago, like before the Quantums came out and when I was still using that Chaos build. I was actually thinking of kind of making a little Burning Abyss engine, but I kind of let that idea go. But it's cool that it worked. That's pretty cool. Finally, congrats to my friend Jaden Sopko for making day 2 of this YCS. I remember after round 5, we were both 4 wins, 1 loss, and we're thinking all we had to do was 1 win and get a draw, and we'd both day 2, which was really cool thinking. Both you and your friend kind of getting to accomplish something together. But yeah. I ended up, I needed 1 win and a draw, but I ended up losing 2 and then getting a draw. That was kind of, but yeah, I'm really proud of him. In my mind, I really wanted to day 2, but I actually wanted him to day 2 more, because he's never gotten to before. I'm not sure how he did. I'm not sure if he top 32 or what place he got. I should probably call him and ask him. But yeah. Finally, overall, it was an okay YCS event. I'd say the previous Columbus YCS was more enjoyable, for reasons of that being a better format and it being run better. But I'm glad I got to go. I actually got to meet Roger Newman there, which people say he's different in person, but no, he's really not different in person. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.